next block is going to be a star block, and I like stars, and there's that many I like, I can't make my mind up which one to do. So I thought, why not have a go at making my own and paper piece it. It's only got to be 1, 2, 3 pieces of fabric, so what can be easier? Now I've obviously only got a fixed amount of fabric because I'm using in my quilt. So what I'm going to do, because I want it's all the same, but I want it to be like a striped fabric, so what I'm going to do in this for this quilt is make my own fabric by putting certain colours together to and then obviously we can paper piece and cut the right amount out. Now you can do yours whatever size you wish. I did a 6-inch square, and then I did 3 inches up from the corner, 3 inches across that way, did the 3 inches too. Now you can go right off up here, right to the very corner and go off and not have a point, but I like to see points on a star. I think that makes it stand out. So I did up to 1 inch from this corner, just there, in, and that's the way they got me shape. And then I scanned it into the printer and then printed this 4 off, and then obviously this extra bit after this line is we're going to sew 1/4 inch all the way around each one, and then we're going to use that as a guide to sew them together. So that's all you do, is do your drawing, scan it, print it, don't forget your 1/4 inch on the outside, and then make your own fabric. I've layered my fabric up, ironed them, and then I'm using 4 at the moment. So I've got the paisley, the grey, the burgundy. Oh, so it looks like I need to get another one then. Looks like I need a green in there. And I've done them 1 inch wide. So I'm going to now re-sew them all together, and then I suggest that you open your seams when you press. So basically this is what we're trying to achieve when you make your own. Now you can either do it haphazard, any way you want to make it crazy, or you can do it in order, and I like things to be ordered. So even when I'm doing crazy quilts, I still like things to be ordered. If you look at one of my past quilts, crazy quilt, you'll see they're exactly the same size in the middle to start it off. So we go in order, so the next one after that is the paisley one. And obviously what we're trying to achieve is fabric that's long enough to go down this complete centre and wide enough. So I think we've got the length, now we just need the width. And I would actually like it, even though I've just showed you that way, I would actually like it to see it go that way. So if that's the case, then we need to completely do a lot more to fill in that section there. So basically just make one of your tops, where am I got to? There you go. So make one of your tops straight, and then you'll know you'll have a bit better. Say what you're doing, in what order you're going. 1/4 inch. I've got my 1/4 inch on to make my life easier. I haven't got to think about it. Don't pull, because you don't want to make it go in a circle by pulling the fabric once you're done. You can do them thicker than this, you can do them smaller than this. If I could do any smaller, I think I would do 1/8 inch seam allowance. That's up to you. What basically you're doing is making your own pattern fabric. So once you've done that, hold it over that way, and then use your nail and finger press it, but don't try and stretch it. And then when you turn over, open that seam, and then take it to your iron and press. That's it, and just press it all open. As you can see, that's all been pressed open. And then just continue until you've got it wide enough. So once you've done your paper piecing, which I showed you how to do on a previous video, you should have something that resembles that. Now be proud of yourself if you've never done this before, because that's your own fabric that you've made. You do any design you want, any which way you want, and what I've done now is I've starched that before I take it off the paper, so nothing moves, everything stays as is. And then what you do is just now, you should have done a small stitch that. I think mine's 1.8 on my brother today. So basically just pull it all off and then give it another press. So that's how I've decided to do mine. I quite like the paisleys, it looks like shooting stars and things moving around. I managed to get 2 out of that piece of fabric that I made. Now I have noticed that if you put this from end to end, this doesn't line up with that slightly, even though it is exactly the same pattern, exactly the same everything else. So what I should do when I join these is make sure that that section is level. There you go, and then clip or pin that, and then not worry about the top, even if it's quite a way out. We can always do something with that. It's funny, isn't it, how you do something exactly the same. There you go, and it doesn't exactly line up, but keep plugging on. There's always an answer. So that's the 2 pieces joined, and it is quite thick, so it might be best if I open them. So I'm going to do that one next. I'm going to open both and do them flat, and with sewing them with that in mind, keeping that straight, it looks a lot better, and it's not too far from the top, it's pretty spot on. So yeah, I would do them flat at the back and then sew them down the middle. So there you go, that's my star block, and with my own fabric made up. Put whichever way you wish. Looks like a star that way. Anyway, I hope you have a go. It's part the skill you've learned on that one is making your own fabric, piecing, and then paper piecing. So they're the skills you've learnt today. So I hope you've enjoyed watching that, and I hope it inspires you to have a go at something, designing, making your own fabric, whatever. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll do some more videos together.